Good morning. Thank you, and welcome to our service for Sunday, November 9th. To our beloved online community, we welcome you for joining us today. As we grow in spirit together, we would love to connect with you, so please reach out to us in person or online. Today, we welcome Shane Elmore with his talk, Unmasking Courage. Real courage isn't about always appearing strong or invincible. Instead, it's about having the bravery to take off the mask and let our genuine, vulnerable selves be seen. Now, let's stand and welcome Julie Reagans, Curtis Brengel, Carl Losciavo, and Robin Mordecai as we sing our welcome song.
Please join me as we affirm our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Now let us unite our spirits as we hold this vision for our church together. We are an open-hearted spiritual community, powerfully transforming our world by honoring the sacred in all. And we practice this mission together. We offer, by our shared spiritual awakening, we offer practical teachings that empower healthy, abundant, and meaningful living. Today's daily word reading is glory. I'm blessed to be part of the glory of God. I am a spiritual being, a glorious expression of God. As I live more fully into my divine nature, I better recognize my unity with life. Looking around me, I see the beautiful diversity of humanity. I also appreciate the vast variety of creatures on earth. Whether of earth, sky, or water, all creatures are glorious components of the universe. I give thanks for each one. I turn my attention inward. The glory of God within me is an inner kingdom where beautiful and loving thoughts live. Kindness, warm memories, inspired motivation, and peace. As I bring my attention to the realm of my consciousness, I create within me a world of majesty, splendor, and wonder. that I also find in the world around me. As I do, I discover the glory of God everywhere. And from Psalm 19, verse 1, the heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims his handiwork. And now, Jan is going to lead us in our centering prayer.
Let us take this moment to breathe. Allowing the vibration of the crown chakra, which is what this bowl is tuned to. Just allow this vibration to move in and through your body on the vehicle of your breath. Relaxing your shoulders, relaxing your tongue so that the muscles on your face can be still. Be still and know who we are. This morning I'm going to, with the mention of our daily word, glory of God, I want us to take a moment with a Buddhist loving kindness prayer. And I will ask your silent participation in this powerful, powerful prayer. In the Bible, it speaks of prayer without ceasing. Pray always. Every breath we take, every thought we think is a prayer. And so taking this moment, as you breathe, begin to feel yourself, because our first prayer today has to do with empowering yourself and loving yourself, just like our song from Kit Holmes reminded us to do. Take a moment to put on our own oxygen mask and say to yourself, may I be safe. Thinking about what safety means to each of us. May I be safe as I drive. May I be safe as I walk. May I be safe as I think and talk. May I be safe from disease. And so it is. So we have empowered ourselves now. And now let us bring a loved one, someone who's very dear to you. Let us bring that loved one into our consciousness and see them standing before you, healthy, happy, and whole, smiling and looking you in the eyes, and you offer them this prayer. My loved one, my beloved, may you be safe today and always. And so it is. May you be free of pain. May you be happy in all the things that you do. You give them a big hug and bless them and say, so it is. And now, in your mind's eye, go for just a moment to a random person. Someone you really don't know that well, but someone who might need an extra little magical blessing that just comes through the air, and all of a sudden they feel better because from somewhere they've had a boost. Take a moment and visualize this person. It could be a waiter. It could be your neighbor walking down that you really haven't met. Visualize them. May you be safe. May you be free of pain. May you be happy. And so it is. Now, The Bible also says to pray for our enemies or those that trigger us. So I'm challenging you now. Just take a moment. Picture someone who may just get on your very last nerve and see them standing in front of you. Take a deep breath and you say to them, yeah, may you be safe. May you be free of pain. May you be happy. And you release them knowing it is so and it is done. And now, go with us as we go a little bit deeper and out into the universe, and we turn around and we look back at our planet. And we look at Mother Earth. Mother Earth is a consciousness. And we say to her, may you be safe. May you be free of pain. And may you be happy. And we bow in the namaste to her as we journey back to planet Earth together, taking a deep breath in and feeling our bodies right here now, knowing all is well. Amen.
Trees, they're growing. Can you feel the sun glowing as it warms your face? Can you hear the birds are singing? Can you see the love he's bringing? Can you feel yourself clinging to a love that came by grace? Everywhere you look, you see his hand. Every breath we take by his command. God touch, it fills the air. God is everywhere. His loving heart, his love and care. Do you see the sun he gave you? Do you know the love it saved you? Do you feel the spirit inside crying out for him? Can you see his power within you? Can you see the world that needs you? Do you speak the words he gives you and bring life to them? Everywhere you look, you see his hand. Every breath you take by his command. God is everywhere. His gentle touch, it fills the air. Everywhere you look, you see his hand. Every breath we take at his command. God is everywhere. His gentle touch, it fills the air. And God is everywhere. His loving heart, his love. God is
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. Good morning. I'm so excited about the opportunity to be up here today to speak with you on this topic of unmasking courage. What does that mean? I'll tell you a story of how I came about this topic. You know, it can be challenging for me when I'm preparing for a message and I haven't quite finished with that message yet, but you know you have to speak another one. Finn, you probably can relate. It's challenging sometimes to let go of this idea that I'm focusing on. So when I was talking about fear, Aida, she reached out to me. And if you could, for Aida and Amy and the team and everyone that makes all this happen, could you give them a round of applause? You don't see them up here every day, but there's all kinds of magic and work that's going on in the background to make all this happen. And so thank you so much for that. But she sent me a text and said, "What's the topic for next week?" I'm like, I haven't gotten there yet. And I'm in the car with Monica, and she's a therapist, and so she goes, "Talk about vulnerability." And everything in me went, okay. So I said, yeah, that's actually a very good conversation to talk about vulnerability after fear, because one of the most challenging things can be risking to be vulnerable. That's a scary thing. So it made a lot of sense to me to talk about, vulnerability. But there's also another part of me that, I talked about fear, and I told you I'm going to Africa. Fear is talking to me right now. Fear is telling me every single possible scenario of the way things could go wrong while I'm there and not make it back. So there's another part of me going, you know what? She has a great point. Vulnerability is a great thing to talk about. I'm going to call it unmasking courage. And she's like, well, you didn't even mention the word vulnerability. That's not very vulnerable. And I'm like, no, it's not vulnerable. It's smart. Nobody wants to come and listen to a talk about vulnerability. That's like saying, hey, do you want a root canal? It's not an easy thing to talk about. And so that's where we've kind of landed on this idea of unmasking courage. But me going to Africa, if I've only got one shot, one opportunity to seize everything I've ever wanted in this moment. My palms are sweaty, knees, arms are heavy. Anyway, I won't go there. But yeah, so I'm going to mix in with this vulnerability and unmasking courage. It's more of a topic of being vulnerable and sharing with you. When Brene Brown came out with her talk in 2010, right? Any of you familiar with Brene Brown? One of the most popular TED Talks ever. It was 2010, and I remember listening to her talk on vulnerability. And when I heard her words and all the research that she had done on vulnerability, it was one of those things, just like when you sound that bowl, it just rang true. Everything she was saying was so true for me. And I remember making a decision when I heard that to say, you know what? I'm going to take some risk. I'm going to try to be vulnerable. Have you ever done that? That can be a scary thing. It can be scary up here teaching, but it can also be really, really scary in the context of relationships, taking that risk to be vulnerable. And, I didn't want to just stand up here and just spit out all of her, go listen to her talk. It's absolutely amazing. But one of the things that she came up with, one of the things in all of her research that she found was that there's a group of people called the wholehearted people. And these wholehearted people, they all were willing to take off the mask. They were willing to be vulnerable, and they were willing to be seen. And that terrified her. It terrifies me. It terrifies you, right? The idea of taking off the mask that we wear every day and just allowing ourselves to be seen for who we are. And when we take that step, when we take that risk of being vulnerable, it is the birthplace of everything that we want in our life. because it's the birthplace of love and peace and creativity and joy. And so that's my invitation this morning, is for an invitation into vulnerability. But what exactly does that mean, to take off the mask, unmasking courage, and seeing that behind it, the stepping through vulnerability, the fear of vulnerability? That's where the magic happens in life. I'll never forget when I was with a group called the Crucible Project. And I'd started working with vulnerability. I'd started sharing some things, and it's kind of scary at first, like you share it, but I'm also looking at them like to see, did they flinch? Did they, I'm sharing it, but how did that land? And I go to this men's group, and there's about 30 of us there. And it's a safe container. The purpose is for vulnerability. And there's about 30 men. And the question they asked in this group, this is an exercise called "The Truth I Don't Want You to Know About Me." You were to stand up and say, "This is the truth that I don't want you to know about me." Holy smokes, man. You talk about trembling. I was sitting there going, can I really share this? Is this really safe? Like, what's going to happen? Are they going to judge me? And I listened to man after man stand up and tell these horrific things. And we would just tell them, we see you and we love you just as you are. And it was going around, and it came time for me, and being able to open up in that safe space and share some things that I had never shared with anyone was like a weight that had just been removed from me. And there's a saying that they had that gave you the courage to be able to step into that truth. It goes a little like this. It says, big truth, big grace. Little truth, little grace. So the question is, when it comes to community and taking risk and being vulnerable, do you want to receive a little bit of grace? You want to receive a little bit of love? Then just share a little bit. But what I've found is when you can create a safe container and a safe place, this is where the magic in my life began to change. It just began to change. And so that's my encouragement to you. So when we talk about vulnerability, one of the most challenging things, especially in 2025, one of the most challenging things can be sharing your truth. Because the Bible does say to speak the truth. It says to speak the truth in love. And in 2025, am I alone in going, that is a very big challenge? That's a very big challenge. It's hard to come up here and speak because one of the things, the last thing I want to do is say something that's offensive to someone. Does that make sense? My purpose is never to offend anyone. But sometimes, in order to speak the truth, you have to risk hurting someone. And what makes that vulnerable is when you speak your truth, you realize that many times your truth isn't truth at all. It's just a judgment that you've been holding on to. All right, this is where the work begins. This is where the work begins, that we can speak to someone and we can share our truth, but then we're open and we're vulnerable and we're willing to say, if you spot it, you've got it. This is about me. This is about me. And this is where life begins to unfold and life begins to happen because we're going into depth and relationship. And we don't have this idea that if I take the mask off, if I say this, these people are going to run away from me. And that's where we go into the depth of relationships that most of us are lacking in our lives right now because we're so scared of just letting people see who we really are. But I can tell you with every bit of my lived experience, it's worth it. It's worth the shot. So when it comes to vulnerability and sharing truth, another thing I want to say is that words matter. You agree? Remember when we were told sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? That's the biggest lie ever told. You agree? Words are hurtful. You know, last week there was a young lady that came up to me, and she shared it in the beautiful spirit. There was a time when what she said to me, it would have been offensive. She said, you know what? What you should have said is fear is false evidence appearing real. And there's a time in my life that I was like, don't you tell me what I should have said. You know, my ego would have been like, no. You know how many books I've read? You know how long it took me to think? No, that wasn't it. She took a risk of speaking her truth, and it landed like, you're right. I wish I had said that. I'm doing this opportunity now. It was beautiful, but she took a risk to say, you should have said this. And I loved it. And it was absolutely beautiful because she was willing to take that risk. She was willing to say those words. And it landed for me in the most powerful and beautiful way. So, what does it look like to speak your truth? What does that look like for you? What does that look like in relationship? When you speak your truth, are you willing to look at the person that you're talking to and love them regardless of what they share and what you say? Are you willing to give them grace and love? You know, when words hurt, here's the thing, and this is the greatest truth that I can share with you. The reason words hurt is because you believe that they're true. Does that make sense? The reason the words hurt is because you believe they're true. And our world today, there's a lot of challenges going on. And what we need more than anything, we're here for a reason, every one of us, in the relationships that we're in, the community that we're in, and our truth is needed. And we need to step into relationship. We need to step into vulnerability. We need to step into taking that risk of being seen and putting ourselves out there, because that is the magic of the universe. That's what makes everything happen. But we're afraid. And so the way I look at it, when someone says something that offends me, because it's so hard to speak today without offending someone. When you offend me, the offense is on me, right? Words matter, but so do intentions. And I believe that most people, when they're speaking to me, they mean well. They're just trying to speak their truth. And so the greatest gift that the Holy Spirit can give you is that cut. It is that ache of going, why does this hurt? They didn't call your name. They didn't know about your wound. They didn't know they were offending you. But when you're hurting and you're triggered, they didn't mean to do that. I know I don't ever mean to do that. But the work is on me when I'm triggered, that there's no gunpowder in there. I've done the work. I can go in and look at that. When you said that, there were false beliefs about myself that I believed, and I have to correct those beliefs. And so now, I do videos online and Facebook and things like that, and I have people all the time. They just come at me with all this anger, and I'm like, holy smokes. I'll give you an example. One thing I said, and again, I'm a Northeast Texas boy who's trying to learn the politically correct language. But I actually had this thought about, sitting in the lotus position and meditation. And as I was going into meditation, and then my thought was, I was like, this is a lot better than like being on your knees in prayer. Like, this is a lot more comfortable. And my thought was Indian style. Like, when they sat that way, they knew something that we've lost. Like that wasn't just how they sat. They were in that position for a reason. And I did a video online, and I got lambasted and told me, you can't say that word. And I just remember going, what did I do wrong? I didn't mean to, and I went down the road There was a lady in my neighborhood, she's Native American, and I told her the story, and I sat down with her, and I said, can I ask you a question? And I told her the story, and I said, is that offensive to you? And she laughs, and she goes, no, I call myself an Indian. And so, indigenous people, Native American, my heart is coming from a place of good. And when we can do that for other people, when people say something to you that cuts you, just say, you know what? They're coming from a place of love. They're coming from a place of good. And yes, we need to correct our language and we need to say things better because there's no purpose in going out there and trying to offend people. But when it comes to society, when it comes to ourselves, the greatest gift that we can give to each other is just give each other and ourselves. Just give us some grace. Give them a pass. Understand that everyone is doing the best that they can with what they have. And sometimes it's just a bad day. When I think about vulnerability, and I've told you I come from a Christian background. And I love the person of Jesus. I think Jesus is the most radical character that I've ever studied. And when you look at the life that Jesus lived, he went into a very political, stifled, religious system where people were burdened so heavily. And he went in and he spoke love. And he didn't do anything wrong, but he spoke the truth. And the truth ended up getting him killed. And that's where the fear comes in. Is that we live in a world where we're afraid to speak truth because we're afraid of what might happen. But the most vulnerable thing I've ever seen or heard the story of is a person who did nothing wrong, who was accused and tried and crucified because he was just trying to do the right thing. And I never want to get political, but in the world we live in today, history repeats itself. There are Pharisees that are out there. And in my opinion, we live in a world of oppression. And when I look at big pharma and big ag and big government and all these things, and we're oppressed, what we have to do is speak truth in love, not in judgment, and trust that the spirit of truth that brought us to where we are today will prevail. And that is the spirit. That is the social spirit of speaking truth and bringing truth to a world that desperately needs it. So, I tell you, let's just go into a time of prayer and meditation. If you would, just if it's comfortable for you, just take a straight spine, put your feet flat on the floor, take a deep breath in through the nose, and exhale with a sigh. Let's do that one more time. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale with a sigh. And now in your mind's eye, I want you to look within yourself. Find the courage to look inside and see that part of yourself that you've been hard on for a really long time. How old were you when you first felt that hurt? You know, that little boy or that little girl that's hurting, there was something they needed to know. There was something that they needed to believe and they didn't. You didn't have the tools or the resources then to speak to that child, but you do now. And as you're looking at that little child, what are the truths that you can speak to them? You're beautiful. You're awesome. You're so creative. You're kind. Just take this opportunity to go back and reparent yourself. Just go back to that younger person and say, I see you. And I want to give you what you didn't have a chance to have. And that is the truth. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of connection. And you are needed in this world now more than ever. And if you can just picture that little boy or that little girl, if you could just give them a big hug, pull them into yourself, breathe it in. Great Spirit, we thank you. We thank you for this incredible journey that is the human experience. And we ask for your help as we unmask courage and see the vulnerability behind it all. And we step into that vulnerability, overriding fear. That's all based in trust that we are here for a purpose and we are here for a reason. And you are inside of us, and you are guiding us each and every step of the way. And that there are no wrong steps, just lessons to be learned. And so it is.
Thank you for sharing your vulnerability with us today, Shane, and your light, and reminding us to turn up the high beam of ours by taking off the mask. Thank you. With love and gratitude, we activate the law of giving and receiving. As we complete this sacred circle, we affirm that one spiritual community thrives, that our spiritual community thrives through faith and the generous contributions of all who call it home. Let's take a moment to center our awareness on this truth. As our ushers step forward, let us infuse our offerings with intention and love. To our cherished online family, please consider including Unity of Wimberley in your giving. Your support elevates our shared journey. We thank you for the gifts you've sent already and affirm the gifts that you're giving now. For those visiting in person today, on the backs of many chairs in the sanctuary, you'll see a tap tag, which, with a tap or a scan, will take you to all of our giving options, events, and more. Hold your unlocked phone near the one of the tap tags, and if this doesn't work for you, open your camera and scan the QR code. If you have any questions, see Sue or Elton after the service. And now let us offer this affirmation of abundance together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I hide behind my quiet eyes, underneath this steady tone, there's a heart that breaks alone. I've learned to smile when I feel small, build my walls and stand up tall. But every time you look at me, I'm scared you'll see what's underneath. 'Cause every truth I've tried to show has left me bleeding when they know. I'm afraid of being seen, of someone finding out what I mean, that I'm softer than I seem, that I still believe in dreams, that I'm afraid you'll look too deep and see the scars I never keep. But I'm afraid of being seen, but I want you to see me. I've hidden love behind my hands, turned away from who I am. It's easier to play it cold than to let someone take hold. Your eyes, they break the chain like sunlight cutting through the rain. You make it hard to run away from all the things I wanna say. If I let you close enough, will my breaking be enough? Oh, I'm afraid of being seen, someone finding out what I mean, that I'm fragile but I try to keep the hurt beneath my eyes. I'm afraid you'll see the truth, how every word still bleeds for you. I'm afraid of being seen, but I want you to see me. Maybe love's not meant to hide, maybe pain's what keep it alive. If I show you who I am, would you still reach for my hand? I'm afraid of being seen, but I'm more afraid of what it means to live my life behind a screen and never let my heart be free. So if I shake, just hold me still, and if I break, I hope you will. I'm afraid of being seen, but I want you to see me, see me, even if it hurts, see me.
With full hearts, let us bless these gifts. Together, we bless these gifts and the givers with our love and gratitude. All right, we have quite a few announcements. And by the way, Steve was not telling me a dirty joke when he came up here. It had something to do with the service. Well, I won't go into it, but next Sunday, November 16th, we're delighted to welcome back Jill Carey. Her talk, Writing Your History, invites us to visit the Atlas of Your Heart and explore ways to plot your course. We look forward to sharing this meaningful time together with Reverend Jill. If you would like to run for a seat on our Unity of Wimberley Board of Trustees, the deadline for application is Sunday, November 30th. You can mail nominations at unityofwimberley.com or reach out to our nomination committee chairperson, Leah Finn, for more information. Gallery night was a huge success. Thanks to our artists and volunteers, we raised $2,280 for the church so far. And you probably noted that the artwork is still out there and it's still available for you. So stop by and find that special piece that speaks to you. Susan Winkler, our board treasurer, will be offering a new financial workshop entitled Understanding QCDs, a Smart Way to Give, on November 13th from 7 to 8 via Zoom. QCDs are qualified charitable distributions. So if you're over 70 and a half and looking for a tax-wise way to give to your favorite charity, i.e. Unity of Wimberley, this free class will give you clear, practical information that you can use right away. So visit the event page to register and see Susan Winkler for more information. Care team needs your helping hands. Some of our church family could use a few home-cooked meals right now, and there's quite a few of them, and a little extra love and care. So if your heart's nudging you to help, this is the perfect time. Contact Alice and Hannah in person or at unityofwimberley.com. Our chaplains team monthly meeting is today following service at 12:15 in the library. Please continue to bring your food donations for Crisis Bread Basket. There are baskets at both church entrances, and they are struggling to meet demand right now. Your generosity truly makes a difference. Please visit the events page of the website often for more information about other classes and events coming up. And our prayer request box and gratitude jar are on the fireside room buffet. And if you're visiting today, please consider filling out a blue information card located on the front foyer table or an online visitor card from the tap tag on the back of the chair, so we can send you a welcome packet and help you get settled in. As a reminder, Jan will be available to pray with you after the service in the library. Online viewers, if you need prayer, please email chaplains@unityofwimberley.com or scan the QR code on the screen. Also, Silent Unity is available 24/7 at the number listed here. And that brings us to the close of our service. And as a reminder, parents, please return to the YFM room to sign out your children. Now let's sing in the kids.
You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright.
That's a lot of kids. So let's bless them. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are. Now, please join us as we pray our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.